I know you're a good person, but it's important to understand that not everyone is like you. Our hearts want to believe there's a solution for the world, and we have hope in people. However, if we're not careful, we can get hurt. Unfortunately, there are many malicious people, and occasionally they will cross our paths. Pay attention to the signs and stay away from such individuals. You've probably met someone who is genuinely cruel, who hurts others' feelings without remorse and takes advantage of others' weaknesses. Sometimes these behaviors are so subtle that we don't even realize we're dealing with a bad person. Let's talk about the signs indicating you're dealing with someone like that. Some people will always try to make you feel guilty about a situation or pretend to like you in your presence, but speak badly about you behind your back. It's important to be prepared, because sometimes outsiders will try to disturb your peace, but other times it will be people from your own family. Family is a blessing from God. That I have no doubt. However, unfortunately, some people tend strongly toward a bad version of themselves. In today's video, I'll show you 9, or rather 10 signs that you're dealing with a bad person and what you should do when these individuals cross your path. Before we get to the first sign, make sure you've hit the like button if you're someone who loves learning about life wisdom. If possible, write this down. People want to see you well, but never better than them. This is pure truth. Now, let's go with the first sign. Number 1. Pleasure in others' pain. Evil people feel pleasure when seeing others suffer. If you know someone who seems to rejoice in others' pain, like laughing or smiling when seeing someone go through a difficult time, that's a clear sign you're dealing with a bad person. This behavior shows a total lack of empathy and can lead to harmful situations they create for their own pleasure. Imagine a coworker who, instead of offering help when you're overwhelmed, laughs at your difficulties, or a friend who, upon hearing about your personal problem, makes jokes instead of offering support. These attitudes are not only insensitive, but also reveal a cruel character. Such people may even deliberately provoke bad situations for others, just to have the pleasure of seeing someone suffer. They can also spread gossip and create conflicts to see people's reactions and enjoy the chaos they've caused. It's important to recognize these signs early and distance yourself from those who exhibit this type of behavior to protect your own emotional health and well-being. Number 2. Need to control your life. Evil people are extremely controlling. They feel uncomfortable and powerless if they don't control every aspect of their lives and the lives of those around them. They will do everything possible to ensure things happen according to their wishes and will abuse power if they don't encounter resistance. Think of that boss who insists on reviewing every little detail of your work, not because they want to help, but because they need to have total control. Or that friend who always decides where you go, what you do, and with whom, without considering others' opinions. These attitudes show an obsession with control that can be suffocating. Such people may also manipulate situations to maintain control, creating rigid rules or using emotional blackmail. A classic example is a partner who constantly monitors where you are and who you're talking to, not out of concern, but out of a need to dominate your life. This need for control is not only irritating but can also be dangerous. Such people often use their power to exploit and abuse others. Recognizing these behaviors and setting clear boundaries is essential to protect your independence and emotional well-being. If you notice someone trying to control every aspect of your life, it's important to take steps to protect yourself and regain your autonomy. Number 3. Strange feeling. When you're around them. One of the clearest signs you're dealing with a bad person is a strange feeling when you're around them. You might feel tired, restless, or simply uncomfortable in their presence. This could be your natural instinct warning you that something is wrong. Imagine being at a family gathering where everyone is having fun, but there's one person who always makes you feel tense and uncomfortable whenever they're around. Even if that person isn't doing anything directly to you, their mere presence is enough to create discomfort. This could indicate that the person has negative energy or malicious intentions. Another example is a coworker who makes you feel anxious or exhausted every time they approach you. You might not be able to pinpoint exactly what's wrong, but your body and mind recognize that something is off. These sensations shouldn't be ignored. Our instincts often pick up on signals that our conscious mind may not perceive. If you constantly feel uncomfortable in someone's presence, this is a warning that the person may not have good intentions. Paying attention to these feelings and giving them importance can help you avoid harmful situations and maintain your inner peace. Number 4. Lack of responsibility. Evil people never take responsibility for their actions. They always blame others when something goes wrong and like to play the victim. They don't acknowledge their mistakes and often make you apologize for them. Imagine a co-worker who makes a mistake on an important project. Instead of admitting fault, they quickly point the finger at you or someone else on the team, saying the blame is on everyone but themselves. This not only creates a toxic work environment, but also makes you feel unfairly blamed. Another example is a friend who constantly gets into trouble. Instead of accepting that their choices led to those situations, they always blame others. If they're late for an appointment, it's the traffic or someone else who made them late. If something goes wrong in their life, they never look at their own actions, but always find a way to blame others and play the victim. These people are also experts at making you feel guilty for their mistakes. They manipulate situations so that you end up apologizing for something that isn't even your responsibility. This is emotionally draining and can erode your self-esteem over time. Recognizing these behaviors is crucial to maintaining your mental and emotional health. People who never take responsibility for their actions can drag you into a cycle of guilt and manipulation. Learning to identify and distance yourself from these individuals is essential for preserving your well-being. Number 5. Habit of lying. Evil people have the terrible habit of lying constantly. They lie for their benefit and often lie just for fun or to manipulate others. They don't value your trust or friendship, prioritizing only their own interests. Imagine a coworker who always makes up stories about their achievements at work, exaggerating or even fabricating facts to stand out. Or a friend who says they couldn't attend your event because they were sick, but you find out they were somewhere else having fun. These lies are not only dishonest, but also show a total lack of respect for you and others. Liars frequently use their lies to manipulate situations and people. For example, a partner who lies about their feelings or intentions to keep you under control or gain an advantage in an argument. They can also invent gossip or spread misinformation to cause conflicts among friends or colleagues, all for fun or to benefit in some way. These lies may be small and seemingly harmless at first, but over time they erode trust and harm relationships. If someone lies repeatedly, even about trivial things, it's a clear sign that the person doesn't respect you and is willing to sacrifice your trust to gain something. Recognizing and confronting these lies is essential for maintaining healthy relationships. If you realize someone has a constant habit of lying, it's important to assess the impact of that person on your life and consider if it's possible to maintain a trustworthy relationship with them. Honesty is the foundation of any solid relationship, and people who lie constantly cannot offer that foundation. Number 6. Absence of remorse. Evil people don't feel remorse for their actions. They never feel guilty about the negative impact they have on others. When confronted, they manipulate the situation to make you doubt your perception of reality. Imagine a colleague taking credit for your work, and when you confront them, they show no regret. Instead, they try to justify their actions by saying you wouldn't have achieved it alone, or that they were just helping you shine. This kind of behavior shows a total lack of empathy and remorse, revealing a deeply selfish and manipulative character. Another example is a friend who constantly makes malicious or hurtful comments. When you try to talk about how those comments affect you, they laugh and say you're overreacting, or even suggest you're too sensitive. This behavior not only shows a lack of remorse, but also attempts to distort your perception of reality, making you question your feelings. These people are masters at turning the situation around. If you point out a mistake or harmful behavior, they quickly become the victims, making you feel wrong for bringing up the issue. This emotional manipulation is a clear sign that the person has no true remorse for what they do and is more concerned with protecting their image. Recognizing the absence of remorse is crucial to protecting your emotional health. People who don't feel guilt for hurting others can continue repeating these harmful behaviors, knowing there will be no real consequences for them. Identifying this trait and setting clear boundaries is essential to protect yourself and maintain healthy relationships. If someone repeatedly shows a lack of remorse, it's important to consider distancing yourself from that person to preserve your well-being. Number 7. Cruelty. Some evil people prefer to act openly and cruelly. They can be aggressive, hurting others with words or actions, and delighting in others' suffering. The lack of empathy and the ability to intentionally inflict pain are distinctive characteristics of this type of person. Think of a co-worker who doesn't hesitate to make malicious or humiliating comments in front of others. They may point out your faults cruelly or ridicule your ideas during meetings, not to offer constructive criticism, but to demoralize you. This behavior not only destroys the group's morale, but also creates a toxic and oppressive work environment. Another example is a friend who makes jokes about your insecurities or personal problems, knowing it hurts you. They may mock you for something you shared in confidence and, upon seeing your reaction, seem to enjoy your suffering. This lack of empathy and pleasure in others' pain are clear signs of a cruel person. These individuals can also act aggressively, both verbally and physically. A partner who regularly insults or physically abuses you is demonstrating open cruelty. The intention behind these actions is to hurt and control, showing a total disregard for others' dignity and well-being. Recognizing cruelty in someone is essential to protect your emotional and physical integrity. People who are openly cruel have no consideration for others' feelings and can cause deep and lasting harm. Setting boundaries and distancing yourself from these individuals is crucial to ensure your safety and peace of mind. If you're facing cruelty, don't hesitate to seek support and take steps to protect yourself. Number 8. Friends and family. Warnings about bad character. If your friends and family are warning you about someone's character, it's important to take these warnings seriously. They may have witnessed toxic and harmful behaviors in the past. Don't ignore these signs, as what happened to them could happen to you if you're not careful. Imagine you start dating someone new, and soon your closest friends and family express concern. They mention that this person has a history of manipulation and disrespect in previous relationships. It can be difficult to accept these criticisms, especially if you're emotionally involved, but it's crucial to listen to these concerns carefully. Another example is when you start a new job and your colleagues quickly warn you about a specific supervisor. They tell stories of how this supervisor frequently takes out frustration on subordinates, creating a tense and demotivating work environment and never taking responsibility for their mistakes. These stories are not just gossip, but warnings based on real experiences that can save you from painful situations. These warnings from people close to you are valuable because they come from an external and impartial perspective. Your friends and family want the best for you and have nothing to gain by deceiving you. If several people are warning you about the same person, it's a strong sign you should be cautious. It's easy to ignore or minimize these warnings, especially if the person in question is treating you well at the moment. However, recognizing and considering these concerns can save you a lot of trouble in the future. If someone repeatedly exhibits toxic and harmful behaviors, it's likely these behaviors will repeat with you. Take these warnings seriously and carefully observe the person's behavior. If you notice signs of manipulation, cruelty, or lack of responsibility, consider distancing yourself before it becomes too difficult. Your friends and family may see red flags that you, in the midst of the situation, may not perceive. Trust them and protect yourself from potential harm. Number 9. Contempt. One of the worst forms of emotional manipulation by a bad person is contempt. These individuals make you feel inferior by criticizing your appearance, interests, dreams, and anything else they can. Do not let these people change your perception of yourself. Imagine a partner who constantly criticizes your appearance, pointing out your physical flaws as if they were unforgivable faults. They might say things like, "You could be more attractive if," or "Why don't you dress better?" These comments are not constructive. They are cruel and designed to undermine your self-confidence. Another example is a friend who mocks your interests and passions, belittling your achievements and dreams as if they were not worthy of respect. They may laugh at your ambitions, making you feel foolish for pursuing your goals. This type of contempt not only hurts, but also makes you doubt yourself and your abilities. These people use contempt as a tool of emotional control, weakening your self-esteem so that you depend on them for validation and acceptance. They want to shape your self-perception according to their own interests and desires without respecting who you really are. Do not let these people manipulate your self-image. You are valuable and deserve to be treated with respect and consideration. If someone is constantly belittling you, it's a clear sign that they are not interested in your emotional well-being. Protect yourself by distancing yourself from those who try to diminish you and seek relationships that promote your growth and happiness. Number 10. Animal abuse. Animal abuse is a clear sign of a bad person. Cruelty towards animals can indicate deeper problems in someone's character. If you know someone who acts abusively or neglectfully towards animals, consider distancing yourself from that person. Imagine a neighbor who frequently abuses their dog, yelling at and hitting it for any reason. These actions not only cause suffering to the animal, but also reveal a lack of empathy and emotional control by the abuser. This abusive behavior can extend to other areas of that person's life. Another example is someone who keeps their animals in deplorable living conditions without proper care for food, hygiene, or health. Constant neglect shows a complete disregard for the life and well-being of the animals under their care. These actions should not be ignored or minimized. Studies show that cruelty towards animals is often linked to violent behaviors against humans as well. It's important to recognize these signs and consider the impact of being around someone with these traits. While it may be difficult to realize when we're blinded by friendship, love, or respect for someone, it's essential to prioritize the safety and well-being of the animals and ourselves. If you suspect someone is being cruel to animals, consider distancing yourself and, if possible, report the behavior to the appropriate authorities to protect the animals and prevent future harm. If you know other signs of a bad person that haven't been mentioned here, put them in the comments. I'd love to read your opinion. If you've made it to the end, write in the comments, "Good always triumphs over evil." If you found these insights valuable, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more wisdom. Before you go, here's something extraordinary I want to share with you. NASA scientists have developed a revolutionary 7-minute audio called Genius Wave that helps unlock your brain's full potential. Imagine attracting success and happiness effortlessly. Our subscriber, Nelson, did just that. He rekindled his relationship and landed a promotion at work using this amazing tool. To discover how you can transform your life too, click the link in the description below. Don't miss out on this opportunity.